Right now, somewhere in your fridge sits a plate of leftovers quietly working against your own health every single day. 2 billion people reheat food today, fully convinced that heating it again automatically makes it completely, totally safe to eat. That belief is not just wrong, it is genuinely dangerous, and almost nobody has ever honestly warned you about it. 1 in 6 cancer cases worldwide is now linked directly to diet, storage habits, and the way we reheat food. Poor eating habits now rank as the second biggest modifiable cancer risk factor, right behind smoking cigarettes every single day. Nobody really talks about what actually happens inside your own food the moment you microwave it for a second time. These chemical reactions are completely silent, invisible, and odorless, yet they are quietly transforming your food at a molecular level. You cannot see them, you cannot smell them, but your own body absorbs every single one of these tiny compounds. I have spent 15 long years studying nutritional biochemistry, researching exactly how reheated food quietly damages human cells over time. Today, I am going to reveal 4 foods sitting in your fridge right now that are scientifically dangerous when reheated. Stay with me until the very end, because the 4th food is one almost every health-conscious person assumes is safe. That assumption, as you are about to discover, could be one of the most costly mistakes you make every day. This is not about a simple stomachache or a few uncomfortable hours after eating one rushed, poorly reheated meal. We are talking about carcinogenic compounds slowly building up inside your body across months, years, and eventually decades of exposure. Cancer rarely explodes overnight. It creeps in slowly, quietly, built from thousands of tiny biochemical insults repeated again and again. Free radicals, glycation end products, and nitrosamines rarely enter your body through smoke or pollution, but through your very own kitchen. The World Health Organization has officially classified several of these reheating byproducts as confirmed or probable human carcinogens even today. Group 1 simply means scientists have conclusive proof it causes cancer, while Group 2A means it probably does the same. These are not vague theories whispered quietly in a lab. They are documented reactions happening on your stovetop right now. And here's the part that should genuinely concern you. The victims are not reckless eaters, they are careful people. They are the ones eating lean proteins, cooked vegetables, rice, and eggs, fully believing they are choosing the healthy option. Those 4 food categories, the ones you trust the most, are exactly what we are examining closely together now, today. After this video ends, you will never glance at your own leftover containers the same relaxed, careless way ever again. Let me quickly explain why you should trust what I'm about to tell you over the next few minutes. I trained in internal medicine, then completed advanced fellowship research focused entirely on nutritional biochemistry and preventative disease science today. For 15 years, my research has carefully tracked how heat, storage, and repeated cooking alter food at a cellular level. For this video alone, I personally reviewed hundreds of peer-reviewed studies from respected journals most people have never heard of. Every single claim you hear here comes from published research in journals like Food Chemistry, Carcinogenesis, and The Lancet Oncology. I will explain the science simply because it is real, it is proven, and you deserve to understand it clearly. I am not selling supplements, I am not pushing a course, I am sharing knowledge that could protect your family. Before we get into these specific foods, you need one quick lesson in food chemistry, so do not skip this. When food is cooked the first time, heat causes normal, predictable reactions, and proteins unfold and starches gently soften completely. But reheating food that already sat inside your refrigerator triggers a completely different, far more dangerous chemical process entirely today. First, oxidation, where fats and proteins exposed to oxygen slowly become unstable, then break down further the moment heat returns.
This breakdown creates lipid peroxides and malondialdehyde, both well-documented compounds known to directly damage your own human DNA strands today. Second, a broken Maillard reaction, the same browning reaction that makes food taste delicious, but repeated heat corrupts it entirely. This corruption produces advanced glycation end products, compounds strongly linked to chronic inflammation, one of cancer's most powerful biological drivers today. Third, nitrite conversion, where nitrate-rich foods stored inside your fridge slowly convert into nitrites through ordinary bacterial activity overnight always. When reheated, those nitrites quietly transform into nitrosamines, compounds the World Health Organization officially classifies as probable or confirmed carcinogens. Remember three simple words as we move forward: oxidation, glycation, and nitrosamine formation, because every food repeats at least one. Food number one is rice, the single most consumed staple food on the entire planet, feeding over 3 billion people. Billions of people reheat leftover rice every single day, a habit so ingrained across cultures that nobody questions it anymore. But there's a serious problem here, and it has almost nothing to do with the actual reheating process itself. It is really about what happens while rice sits quietly in your refrigerator between the first cooking and the second. As rice cools, it becomes a near-perfect breeding ground for a bacterium called Bacillus cereus, naturally present in raw grains. This bacterium survives ordinary cooking easily, then multiplies rapidly inside rice left too long at room temperature or refrigerated poorly. Reheating may kill the bacteria itself, but it simply cannot destroy the heat-resistant toxins those bacteria have already produced beforehand. Those toxins survive your microwave completely, then travel straight into your own digestive system, fully intact and completely fully active. The bacterial risk alone is serious, but the deeper cancer concern is something most people have genuinely never heard before. Bacillus quietly produces a toxin called cerealide, which laboratory studies clearly show can seriously damage the mitochondria inside human cells. Mitochondrial dysfunction is widely recognized as an early biological event that can slowly push healthy cells toward becoming cancerous cells. There's another concern, too. Repeated heating of starchy rice increases acrylamide formation, a byproduct of sugar and amino acids. The International Agency for Research on Cancer officially classifies acrylamide as a Group 2A probable human carcinogen worldwide even today. So what should you actually do instead of continuing this daily habit that feels so completely harmless and totally normal? Cook rice fresh whenever you possibly can, and if you must store it, spread it out to cool it quickly, refrigerate within 1 hour, eat it within 24 hours, and never ever reheat that exact same batch of rice twice. Food number two is chicken, the world's favorite lean protein, recommended constantly by doctors, dietitians, and every fitness influencer alive. When leftover chicken sits quietly in your own fridge, almost everyone reheats it without thinking twice about what happens next. This is exactly where the real problem quietly begins, hidden inside something as ordinary as your own weekly meal prep. When animal muscle protein is heated a second time, it undergoes oxidation, producing compounds called heterocyclic amines, or simply HCAs. HCAs are not remotely controversial in nutrition science. They are among the most heavily researched dietary carcinogens ever truly studied. Once inside your body, liver enzymes quietly convert HCAs into highly reactive compounds capable of binding directly onto your DNA. This direct interaction with DNA can trigger mutations, especially in tumor suppressor genes, one of cancer's earliest starting points today. A study published in Carcinogenesis found that frequent consumption of reheated poultry significantly raised colorectal cancer risk in participants studied. Harvard School of Public Health separately linked reheated processed chicken to increased pancreatic cancer, a disease with brutal survival rates. Foods 3 and 4 are the ones almost everyone completely misunderstands, especially people who genuinely try to eat healthy meals. Food number 3 affects people proud of their clean eating habits, while food number 4 shocks even trained nutrition professionals. Food number 3 is spinach, along with other nitrate-rich leafy greens praised endlessly by nutritionists and cardiologists everywhere, even today. Spinach is celebrated for its iron, folate, magnesium, and powerful antioxidants, and honestly, that reputation is entirely, completely well-deserved. Eaten fresh or cooked once and consumed immediately, spinach genuinely deserves every single bit of praise it constantly, rightly receives. The problem begins only when spinach is stored, refrigerated, then reheated later, exactly the way most families actually eat it. Spinach, celery, beets, and Swiss chard all naturally contain high levels of nitrates, which are usually genuinely beneficial compounds too. In their natural form, nitrates support cardiovascular health and help regulate healthy blood pressure throughout your entire body every day. But once cooked spinach sits refrigerated, bacteria living on its own surface slowly begin converting those nitrates into nitrites overnight. This is the exact same chemical conversion responsible for the World Health Organization labeling processed meat a Group 1 carcinogen. When refrigerated spinach older than 24 hours gets reheated, you are simply applying heat to already converted, unstable compounds again. Those nitrites react with amino acids during heating and again inside your stomach, quietly forming dangerous nitrosamine compounds shortly afterward. Nitrosamines rank among the most potent dietary carcinogens ever identified, capable of triggering cancer even at remarkably low doses today. Research consistently links high nitrosamine exposure to gastric, esophageal, and colorectal cancers across many large population studies done worldwide today. This is not some hypothetical fear invented for a video. The European Food Safety Authority has already issued formal warnings. The irony here is truly devastating. One of Earth's healthiest vegetables becomes carcinogenic simply through ordinary storage and reheating habits. So cook spinach fresh whenever possible, eat it immediately, and if leftovers remain, consume them cold within a few hours. Never refrigerate cooked spinach intending to reheat it later. Just store it airtight and eat within 6 hours, cold only. Food number 4, the one I promised would surprise you completely, is something as ordinary and trusted as plain eggs. Eggs contain all 9 essential amino acids, plus choline, selenium, lutein, and zeaxanthin, making them nutritionally nearly perfect overall today. By almost every nutritional standard, eggs deserve their reputation as one of the healthiest, most complete foods available to us. However, reheating eggs, especially scrambled or hard-boiled versions, creates a very specific chemical problem almost nobody ever openly discusses today. Eggs contain roughly 13% fat, concentrated mostly in the yolk, which slowly oxidizes slightly during the very first cooking.
That first oxidation is completely normal, but refrigerating and reheating cooked eggs quietly accelerates secondary lipid oxidation dramatically further still. This process quietly produces malondialdehyde and oxysterols, both compounds now heavily documented throughout modern scientific literature on food safety today. Oxysterols specifically have drawn serious scientific attention recently, forming whenever cholesterol-rich foods undergo repeated, entirely unnecessary heating cycles once again. A review published in Food and Chemical Toxicology concluded that oxysterols carry pro-inflammatory, cytotoxic, and genotoxic effects on human cells.
Genotoxic simply means toxic to your genetic material, your very own actual DNA, making these compounds potential contributors toward cancer. There is another concern, too. Reheated egg proteins form abnormal crosslinks, making digestion noticeably harder on your entire digestive system. Sulfur-containing amino acids inside eggs can degrade during repeated heating, potentially contributing to oxidative stress along your entire digestive tract. Persistent oxidative stress in your intestinal lining is widely considered a major mechanism behind colorectal cancer development worldwide even today. Colorectal cancer ranks as the third most common cancer globally, responsible for nearly 1 million deaths every single year worldwide. So eat eggs immediately after cooking whenever possible, and if preparing ahead, simply keep hard-boiled eggs shelled and completely cold. Never microwave scrambled eggs or omelets, and if reheating is absolutely necessary, use gentle indirect heat, never direct microwaving, ever. Honestly, when I first read this research on nitrosamines, HCAs, and oxysterols, my reaction was not fear, it was frustration. This information already exists inside peer-reviewed journals, published openly by health agencies worldwide, yet it still never reaches ordinary kitchens. Billions of people make daily reheating decisions not out of carelessness, but simply because nobody ever explained this to them. Children eat reheated rice, spinach, and eggs at school 5 days every week, completely unaware of these hidden chemical changes. Elderly people living alone reheat leftover chicken constantly, purely for convenience, never once knowing the biochemistry happening inside that meal. Fitness enthusiasts eat reheated meal prep containers daily, confident they are optimizing health, unaware their food chemistry has quietly shifted again. None of these people are doing anything wrong at all. They simply never received this information until this very moment. Now you know, and that single piece of knowledge changes everything about how you approach your very own kitchen forever. Let's bring this all together clearly now. 4 completely different foods, 4 distinct biological mechanisms, one unmistakable, urgent conclusion overall. Rice reactivates heat-resistant bacterial toxins and quietly forms acrylamide, linking it directly to mitochondrial damage and probable carcinogen exposure too. Chicken produces heterocyclic amines through protein oxidation, directly interacting with DNA and raising both colorectal and pancreatic cancer risk too. Spinach converts natural nitrates into nitrites, then nitrosamines, linked strongly to gastric, esophageal, and colorectal cancer development worldwide even today. Eggs quietly generate oxysterols through cholesterol oxidation, causing genotoxic damage and oxidative stress throughout your entire digestive system every day. 3 mechanisms repeat constantly: nitrosamine formation, lipid and protein oxidation, and dangerous bacterial toxin activation across everyday reheated foods too. This is not fear-mongering. This is rigorously investigated food biochemistry, published repeatedly across decades of solid, peer-reviewed scientific research itself.
There is exactly what you should do starting today. Small, practical changes requiring no supplements or any drastic lifestyle overhauls. Cook rice fresh whenever possible. Cool it within 1 hour, refrigerate it immediately, and never reheat the same batch twice. Eat leftover chicken cold in salads or wraps whenever possible. And if reheating, always use the lowest effective temperature available. Never reheat spinach, Swiss chard, beet greens, or celery. Eat them cold instead, or simply cook them fresh again today. Cook eggs fresh whenever possible. Store hard-boiled eggs unpeeled, and always completely avoid microwaving any scrambled or omelet-style egg dishes. Invest in a simple food thermometer, since gentle reheating under 165 degrees significantly reduces harmful compound formation overall. Avoid reheating any single food more than once, ever. One cooking, one reheating only, then discard whatever remains afterward completely. Use a low-temperature oven instead of a microwave for protein-rich leftovers, since microwaves create uneven, dangerous, localized hotspots often. Plan smaller meal portions so you naturally create fewer leftovers. Honestly, the single most powerful behavioral change available to you. Now, I genuinely want to know, which of these 4 foods completely surprised you the very most just right now? Was it rice, the food nearly everyone reheats without ever thinking twice about it, ever, in their whole entire life? Was it chicken, the protein millions consider their healthy gold standard, completely trusted inside every single meal prep container today? Was it spinach, the vegetable every single nutritionist constantly begs you to eat more of, week after week, endlessly, forever? Or was it eggs, the food you never once imagined could quietly carry any hidden risk whatsoever until right now? Think about someone you truly love who reheats leftovers without ever giving it a second thought throughout their entire week. Maybe it's a parent, a sibling, or a college student surviving on meal-prepped chicken and rice every single day again. They don't know what you know now, and you alone can change that completely in less than just 10 seconds. Share this with them, not to frighten them, but simply to give them the very same knowledge you now hold. Everyone truly deserves the chance to make informed decisions about their own health, exactly the same way you just did. The research is real, the risks are documented, and thankfully the solutions remain remarkably simple to actually apply every day. Preventing cancer isn't only personal responsibility, it's something we genuinely accomplish better together, one shared video at a time today. This information is educational only, not personal medical advice, a diagnosis, or any specific treatment recommendation for your own situation. Always consult your own physician or a registered dietitian before making significant dietary changes, especially with existing medical conditions present. Science evolves constantly, and today's best evidence may shift tomorrow as new, higher quality research eventually becomes available worldwide even today. This channel exists purely to translate complex science into clear, practical information, never replacing your doctor's professional medical guidance ever. You deserve complete, accurate, evidence-based information about your own health, nothing less, starting today and every single day forever always.